Hey, good people. It's Carla P. Yarbrough of carlapyarbrough.com. And I was thinking about you today because I am always thinking about you. And today, when I was thinking about you, it's because I have been hearing about this plan to shut down the Board of Education or make vast changes to it, so much so that they are trying to force parents to homeschool. And they're saying that they need to save money or whatever, but they want to save this money at the expense of our children. I'm not getting into all of that. That's not why I'm making this video. My concern is for your children and their education, and for the parents that may have to wind up homeschooling and not have the resources that they need. During the whole situation with the pandemic, a lot of parents had to go in homeschool their own kids, but they had a lot of support. They had support from the school board. They still had teachers that were developing the curricula and teaching online. Parents had to help their kids with the schooling, but all the grading and the real teaching of it really was left up to the teachers. The parents were more like assistants. But if this happens, if this actually goes through where they're shutting down the Board of Education and doing away with public education, it's going to force a lot of parents to have to do all of those things themselves, things that they have not trained for, they're not equipped for, they never even planned to have to do where their kids' education is concerned. And that really concerned me. And I was like, you know what? I have a lot of knowledge because I homeschooled all three of my children from pre-K straight through graduation. My kids never went to traditional school. The only time they went to traditional school somewhat is when they did dual enrollment with the local community college that we have here. They took college classes in their from 10th grade through 12th grade, because we'll talk about that later. We'll talk about why that was later. But I graduated all three of my kids. And I have one that's about to graduate college right now. My baby girl is about to graduate college, and I have another one that's going to graduate in like a year and a half. And my oldest son is a journalist. And they were able to do very well. They got scholarships to college. They did very well on all standardized testing and all of that. So it's not, my concern is for the parents, because they're afraid. And I'm also concerned for the children that are going to have to get their education a whole new way, and with parents that may not have all the resources or actually know what to do, how to develop curricula, how to homeschool, what a schedule looks like. And then they have to work. Parents having to work at the same time that they're trying to homeschool their kids. What does that look like? And the thing is, I'm uniquely positioned to do that because during the time that I was homeschooling for a number of years, I homeschooled, I worked a full-time job, and I was working on my master's all simultaneously. Yeah, it was a trip. It was a trip. And I was a tired sister. Yes, I was, but I've done it. And I did it on a budget. I did it on a budget, doing three children, homeschooling multiple children in different ages and different grades and everything all at the same time. So how do you do that? And I want to be able to provide not only advice, but resources. How do you do? Because there's a lot of resources you can get for free. Yes, there's resources you can get for free. How do you develop the community that you need to help you homeschool? Where do you find all this? How do you schedule this out so that your children still have all the educational opportunities that you need them to have, so that they can go on, if they go to college or trade school or whatever they want to do, they can go on and have that better life and not miss out on the education that they need to have so they can do the things they need to do in life. And I can help with that. And I want to help with that. I was thinking about this whole thing, and I said, that I was going to be doing something else. And I was looking at putting my efforts in another area, and the Lord he just stopped me. He says, no, you need to address this. You need to help people. You need to do a series of videos and make a website and of resources and do classes, lives and things like that, giving the information to people that would normally go without, and wouldn't necessarily have the resources. And I said, okay, if that's what he wants me to do, that's what he wants me to do. And my heart just broke for people knowing that this is a real possibility. Now look, if they don't do it, which I hope they don't, if they don't close down the Board of Education, you will just have information that you could help with homework, or make a decision as to whether you want to homeschool yourself or not. There's you'll have more options. But if they do in fact shut down the Board of Education or make changes to the point that you have to make the decision to homeschool, you will have the resources, you will have planned and learned in advance how to go about doing this so that your family and your little people have the education that they need. Now, this is not just for the little ones. This is not just for pre-K and elementary school. Like I said, I homeschooled from pre-K all the way through the 12th grade, and I graduated them. So, and that's another question. How do you graduate from homeschool? What do you do? I can share with you that. State laws. What are the state laws? Because every state has different laws on their homeschool regulations. What's legal in your state? What's not legal in your state? What do you have to have? What curricula do you have to teach? What standards do you have to reach? How do you work with standardized testing for your state? How do you report? How do you grade? There are so many things that you will need to know, and I want to be able to give you the resources that you need. So what I'm going to do is, on this particular channel, there will be a playlist just for homeschooling help. A playlist just for homeschooling help. Because, I got the podcast where I talk about profiting through purpose. And yes, that is such a help to so many. And I'm going to be giving, we'll be doing more podcasts. And then I also talk about my journey as a business person and all my flaws, because I have a lot of them. Anyway, but I have that. But I'm going to build a playlist just for homeschooling. So you will know to come here to find the information you need. Now, also, I think I'm going to do a website just for resources and things like that. So you can, where I can put see if I can find state regulations for all 50 states. So you could be able to go and click on your state and find out what the state regulations are as they change, if they change. I also want to be able to share with you how you can get local help in your community, where you can purchase curricula, and how to find curricula. So there's going to be a lot of information that I want to be giving you on a regular basis. And as it changes, as things go one way or the other, you'll have that information, because our children's education is important. And if we don't make sure that our children are educated properly, they can be taken advantage of. Now, I know that not everybody is skilled in certain areas, because trust me, trust your girl. Chemistry and math and all those sciences and stuff like that was not for me. That was not for your girl. But there's a way to make sure your high school students and even your middle school students get the education that they need so that they can go on to college. And it doesn't have to necessarily come through you. And it doesn't necessarily have to be this expensive. It's seriously expensive, and you can still work and do what you need to do. So don't get scared if you're not good at certain subjects. I got you. I got you. There's a way to do it. The homeschoolers have been doing it for years, but nobody really asked us the tricks of the trade unless they were looking to go into homeschool. So now that it might be mandated that you have to homeschool, let's figure out, I want to share that information for you, because I know what's going to happen is a lot of people are going to be trying to capitalize on your pain. I know that. And that's not to say that everything I'll be doing will be able to be free, because I'm going to give away a lot of information, but there's some things that are just impossible for me to give without there being a price attached to it. But as much as I can give to you for free, I will give to you for free because the Lord told me to. Put it that way. The Lord told me to. And I don't want you to be without. I'm not trying to capitalize off your pain. I'm not trying to capitalize off of what's going on here. That's not me. I mean, I know that, things grow in the channels and how algorithms, I know how that works. But as far as me charging you for what things that don't need to be charged for, I'm not doing that. So as you are watching these videos, as people, if you know other parents or grandparents or anybody that's taking care of children and they know that they might be falling into this category where they might have to homeschool, send them to this channel. Send them here and say, listen, there's somebody who's willing to give you free information. She's willing to give you as much free information as she possibly can, and you don't have to be taken advantage of by someone trying to capitalize on your pain or capitalize on what's going on with the system. My job is to help you because I want your kids to walk out their purpose just like my kids are living out theirs. And part of my kids living out their purpose came from me making sure I educated them in that purpose. I allowed them to get that education in their purpose as they were learning the math and the English and the sciences and all those kinds of things, as they were going to football practices and gymnastics and dance and what else they do? Acting, as they were doing all of these things and playing Little League football and tennis and all these different things. Yes, they were still being educated in their purpose. So that's why my kids enjoy their life now. That's why I have one that's in film, another one that's an animator, and I have a journalist, because they were all purposed to do those things and they enjoy their life now. So since they're trying to force you to have to homeschool, we may as well make sure your children have the best possible life and enjoy their life, right? So I'll even show you how to do that, how to educate your children and to help your children find their purpose so that they're educated in their purpose, so they don't go to college wasting your money and don't know what they want to do when they get out. That ain't about the right. we don't want that. We don't want children going off to college like I see so many children do, and they don't know what their purpose to do. They get there, they go through all of this schooling, and then they get out and they hate their life. We don't want that. My children are not like that. They're going through college and they're enjoying what they do. So since you got to homeschool, may as well homeschool them in their purpose, right? And when you homeschool, you have that choice. You get to tailor what they learn and what they don't learn. You get to add to the curricula, or you get to take away from the curricula, just making sure that you stay within the state guidelines, within the guidelines of the government, so that they can't deny your children the diplomas and the things that they need so that they can go on for higher education and a better life, okay? But I just wanted to come and tell you that. I wanted to come and share that with you. So I want you to look out for this. I think that I think I'm going to try to do one a week, because I do have the podcast, and I do have, the other channel, and I do other things, I have to eat, I have to pay bills too. So I have other things that I'm doing, with my own business, but I will be coming to you at least once a week, giving you information, giving you resources. I will be developing a website. Because I'm trying to keep it free, we'll see how that works, but I'll give you that information and all that kind of stuff, okay? If you have any questions, please put them below. Please put any questions you have about homeschooling below, so that as I'm developing these videos and I'm coming to you with the information, I'm giving the information based on the questions that you are asking. I'll give information based on the things that I know that you might not think about, but I also want to answer your questions, okay? So I'll compile and say, how many questions do I have on this? And I'll answer as I go, okay? I hate that this might be happening to you, but I know you can do it. And I know your children will be better for it. And you'll have a lot of tricks and tips. You're not alone, okay? You're not alone. I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.